Bruce Lee was born during a stormy night in a foreign land far from the place his ancestors called home. November 27th, 1940, San Francisco, California. A Chinese baby born in Jackson Street Hospital at 12:30 p.m. during the year of the dragon, and even more symbolic in the hour of the dragon. His parents named him Lee Jun Fan, but the world would one day call him Bruce Lee. His father, Lee Hoi Chuen, was a respected Cantonese opera singer, touring America with a performing troupe. His mother, Grace Ho, came from a wealthy Eurasian Hong Kong family. They held their newborn son in a tiny room above Chinatown, a child who had no idea that his body, mind, and spirit would forever reshape martial arts, cinema, and culture itself. Soon after his birth, the family returned to Hong Kong, settling in a crowded apartment near Kowloon's busy streets. Bruce grew up surrounded by noise, the chatter of markets, the clashing sounds of street kids fighting, and the rhythmic beats of Cantonese opera from his father's rehearsals. He was small, but he had a spark, a restless spirit, a curiosity that burned behind his eyes. No one, not even his parents, could imagine what that spark would one day become. From an early age, Bruce was full of motion. He danced through the house. He jumped from furniture. He imitated the actors he saw in the Hong Kong cinema. He even appeared in his first film at just 3 months old when his father carried him on set. By age 6, he was acting in films such as Birth of Mankind, 1946. By age 9, he had already been in more than 10 films, including The Kid, 1950, where he played a street orphan, a role that felt strangely close to reality. Because the real Hong Kong streets were rough. By his early teens, Bruce was getting into fights. Not small ones, but chaotic street battles between gangs of boys defending their honor. He joined a group called the Junction Street 8 Tigers. He loved to fight. He hated to lose. And because he was small, he fought harder than the bigger boys. But this path was dangerous, and soon he would pay for it. When he was 13, Bruce returned home after losing a rooftop fight. His lip was bleeding. His shirt was torn. His pride was broken. His parents realized that if they didn't intervene, they might lose their son to the streets. So, they introduced him to a calm, soft-spoken Wing Chun master named Yip Man. Bruce entered the training hall as a wild street kid and walked out with the seed of discipline planted inside him. Under Yip Man, he learned speed over strength, timing over anger, calmness over chaos, adaptation over ego. He trained every day. He practiced in alleys, in his room, even on the ferry. He kicked trees until bark fell off. He punched dummies until his knuckles hardened. Wing Chun didn't just teach him to fight. It taught him to control the fight inside himself. Around this same time, Bruce discovered another passion, cha-cha dancing. By 1958, he had won the Hong Kong Cha-Cha Championship. Fighting and dancing, Both taught him rhythm, timing, balance. Both would later shape the style that changed martial arts forever.
Despite training, Bruce still got into trouble. The street fights grew more violent. The gangs became more dangerous. One day, in 1959, Bruce nearly beat another teenager into serious injury. His parents were warned. If Bruce stays in Hong Kong, he will either end up in prison or dead. So at 18 years old, with only $100 in his pocket and the fire of rebellion still burning inside him, Bruce boarded a ship called the USS President Cleveland and sailed alone to America. He didn't know it then, but the journey would forge the legend. Bruce arrived in Seattle, living with family friends. He worked in restaurants, washed dishes, swept floors, anything to survive. But he kept training. He finished high school at Edison Technical School. Then he studied philosophy, drama, and psychology at the University of Washington. Here, everything changed. Bruce began teaching martial arts to students in parks and parking lots. He taught not like a traditional master, but like a philosopher. Be like water. Adapt. Use no way as way. Absorb what is useful. In 1961, he opened his first martial arts school in Seattle, the Jun Pan Kung Fu Institute. Later, more schools followed in Oakland and Los Angeles. He was no longer just a fighter. He was becoming a teacher and a revolutionary. Bruce's open teaching style angered some traditional martial artists who believed Chinese arts should not be taught to non-Chinese. In 1964, they sent a fighter named Wing Chun Man to challenge him. The fight was supposed to be polite. It was not. The door shocked, the fists flew. Within minutes, Bruce defeated Wong. But Bruce was disappointed. The fight took too long. He felt trapped by classical techniques. This moment led to the creation of his own martial philosophy, Jeet Kune Do, the way of the intercepting fist. It combined Wing Chun, Western boxing, fencing, street fighting, philosophy, speed, footwork, minimal movement, maximum impact. It was not a style, it was freedom. And soon the world would see that freedom on screen. In 1964, Bruce married Linda Emery, a woman who believed in him before the world did. They had 2 children, Brandon Lee, born 1965, and Shannon Lee, born 1969. In 1966, Bruce landed the role of Kato in The Green Hornet. Though the show lasted only 1 season, Bruce's lightning-fast moves stunned American audiences. But Hollywood wasn't ready for an Asian male lead. He was passed over, ignored, underpaid. Even a TV show he created, Kung Fu, was given to a white actor. So Bruce returned to Hong Kong, a decision that would change cinema forever. In Hong Kong, Bruce discovered something surprising. He was already famous because of the Green Hornet reruns, known there as the Kato Show. Golden Harvest Studios offered him a deal and Bruce exploded onto the worldwide scene. 1971, The Big Boss. 1972, Fist of Fury. 1972, The Way of the Dragon, which he wrote, directed and starred in. 1972 to 73, Game of Death, unfinished at his death. Then came the masterpiece, Enter the Dragon, 1973, a Hollywood-Hong Kong collaboration that would bring Bruce to the world stage. He was no longer just a martial artist. He was a global icon, a symbol of power, speed, and self-mastery. People had never seen anything like him. He moved like electricity, thought like a philosopher, performed like a superstar. At his peak, he was rewriting the rules of what it meant to be strong, physically, mentally, spiritually. But his time was running out. In May 1973, Bruce collapsed during a dubbing session. Doctors reported cerebral edema, swelling of the brain. He recovered, but the warning sign had been given. On July 20, 1973, Bruce visited the apartment of actress Betty Tenpei to discuss Game of Death. He complained of a headache and was given a painkiller. He lay down to rest. He never woke up. Bruce Lee died at 32 years old. The world froze. Hong Kong shut down. 1 million people attended his memorials. His body was flown to Seattle, where he was buried at Lakeview Cemetery beside his son Brandon years later. A legend gone too soon. A flame extinguished at its brightest. But a soul that would never fade. Bruce Lee left more than films, more than punches and kicks, more than quotes and posters. He left a movement. His philosophy became the foundation of modern MMA. His films inspired generations of actors, fighters, directors, and dreamers. His teachings shaped the way the world understands discipline. He broke racial barriers. He connected East and West. He made the impossible look effortless. He turned his pain into power. He turned his struggle into greatness. Bruce Lee taught us that a human being, any human being, can transform himself through focus, discipline, adaptation, honesty, self-expression, and endless growth. His words echo today. Be water, my friend. Absorb what is useful, using no way as way. Do not pray for an easy life. Pray for the strength to endure a difficult one. Bruce Lee lived only 32 years, but he lived them with the intensity of 10 lifetimes. He became not just a fighter, not just an actor, not just a philosopher, but a symbol of human potential. A reminder that greatness is not given, it is earned. Day by day, punch by punch, failure by failure, awakening by awakening. Bruce Lee is gone. But his energy is everywhere. In every gym, in every dojo, in every film, in every dreamer, in every person trying to better themselves. He is a flame that refuses to die. A legend that will never fade. A dragon that still burns across the world. This is not just Bruce Lee's story. It is the story of what a human being can become when they refuse to be limited. His life is a lesson. Transform yourself, master yourself, express yourself. Become the greatest version of who you are meant to be.